There we go. Good morning, everyone. My name
Good
is
morning.
Good morning. This is Rendezvous with TNA, and we are life coaches, Law of Attraction life coaches, and we are here to talk with you each week about some components of the Law of Attraction. And we'll share our ideas and our theories and our experiences, and we invite you to participate via the chat box to the side of the screen. And anything that you would like to ask us, we are open to taking questions. So I would like Antonio to introduce himself to you now.
Good morning. I'm Antonio Revamps. I'm a certified life coach, and I specify in the law of attraction and also with personal development and helping you get to the next level, getting rid of that glass ceiling, and helping you realize that you are the creator of your experience and also the attractor of your experience. So, in helping you getting to that point and realizing that you can create and attract everything you want, that's going to allow you to build confidence and momentum in towards those things that you never thought were possible in your life, that they are possible and they are doable. You just got to focus on being disciplined and dedicating and the time and the commitment to yourself first and foremost before anything else.
Very nice. And if people want to contact you outside of this blab, you want to give them the information?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. You can reach me at antrevamps@hotmail.com. That's ANTREVAMPS at hotmail.com. Or you can reach me at my Twitter handle, which is antrevamps.
Nice. Why don't you type it in the box there for the folks, and while you do that, I'll introduce myself. My name again is Tammy Gifford, and I am a certified law of attraction coach, and my superpower is helping people find more pleasure in their life. And that can take any form, actually. Pleasure in paying your bills, pleasure in dealing with your crying children, pleasure in that boss that drives you nuts. It honestly can be just about anything. The people who find their way to me are generally at the end of their rope and have tried everything that they can think of and are really just looking for another way of dealing with their everyday issues. So if that's you, you can also find me outside of this blab at tammygifford.com or Tammy Gifford Coaching at gmail.com, and I'll type that in the box in just a moment. Do you want to, Antonio, give a little brief synopsis of what we're going to talk about today?
Yes. Excuse me. In today's show, we'll be talking about the power of words and how powerful they are in not only creating your experience, but also building your self-confidence, your self-worth. Also the impact on the power of words on others. How most people, don't realize that, one simple comment, you can either empower and inspire someone, or they could, those words could tear them down and cause them to spiral into a different direction, which is, not a healthy or productive or conducive direction. So that's what we'll be focusing on today, the power of words. It's like to bring up the Bible, whether there are those out there that are, religious or not, but it's not only been in the Bible and other biblical books or religions. First is the thought, the word, and the deed. And those are there for a reason because they help create your life experience.
Oh, I like the comment we just received in the sidebar. Kipling said, "Words are the most powerful drug known to mankind." And oh man, is that ever true?
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Thanks for sharing that. Because it's true. They're almost like a magical spell, depending on what you say and how they come out. And it's important. And again, because we're law of attraction life coaches, it's important to be really deliberate about what you're saying and what you're doing. what you're creating with the words that that you're using. So how about we think about how people talk about themselves or their actions, because it starts with you, but then it also projects outside of you. So something to think about as you go through your day today or throughout the upcoming week is, how do you talk to yourself? Like, what sort of things do you say to yourself? Because that sets up how you act throughout your day. And so, for example, if you are making dinner and you drop a utensil on the floor and you say, "Oh, that was so stupid, Tammy." Well, why would you talk about yourself as being stupid? If you were in the kitchen with a child and they dropped something, would you really say, "Oh, kid, you're so stupid, you dropped a utensil"? Like, it's just a utensil and it dropped. It's not a big deal. Just pick it up and that's the end of it. So really be aware of how you're talking about yourself and to yourself, or you spill something and you go, "Oh, I always spill stuff." Well, if that's what you're deliberately creating, you're gonna always spill stuff. So it's those sorts of words that you use when interacting with self will also spill over into your relationships with other people and how you talk to them and how you make, how you potentially, you can't make somebody feel something, but you can definitely influence.
Yeah, definitely. And adding to what you were saying, how it spills over and spirals, you'll spiral into the negative direction, whether you want to believe it or not, because it causes you to. So, I'll give a brief description of what I'm talking about, adding on to yours. So first you have a thought that you think over and over and over and over. Like they say, chronic thinking becomes a belief. That belief is going to lead you to emotions. Those emotions are going to cause you to take action. That action could be speaking. That action could be physical action. And that's all going to just, and you repeat the cycle over and over and over. So if you're being positive about things, then positive things will start manifesting. If you're negative, it's like you stump your toe. Now you get out of bed, stump your toe. Sometimes, I'll hit my elbow on something. And before I wasn't aware of it, I would start getting angry, cursing at things. And one thing led to another. And all of a sudden, because I was running late that morning, everything just went spiraling in the opposite direction. If I'm trying to rush, now things are just, not going as planned. I make my breakfast, I drop something, I'm trying to put on my shoes, the shoe won't go on. So it's like, and then everything just delays and procrastinates and takes even longer, and I get angrier. I get in my car now realizing that I forgot something. I got to go back now, or I forgot to make a phone call, or all of a sudden the road I travel down, there's never no traffic. That morning there is traffic. They close the road off because they're doing some kind of construction, whatever it may be. And all that was, whether people want to believe it or not, all that you attracted into your experience because of the negative emotion you put out there. So it's pretty much the universe answers to your vibration, your emotion, how you're feeling. And whether you want to believe it or not, the universe does not care. It's only going to respond to how you're feeling. If you're feeling great, only good things, the universe will only send you good things. So for a good experience. If you're on the negative end, then the universe says, okay, Antonio's feeling negative. Let's only give him negative things. We can't give him good things because he's not aligning up to that. He's not a match to that. Speaking of match, it's like, I'll use match.com. You go on there, you're only going to find people that are pretty much, within the vicinity of your description that match what you're looking for in a partner, someone to date. And you're not going to go with someone that's in the opposite of what you're looking for. Same thing with the universal law of attraction. The universe is not going to say, "Oh, well, he's asking her for X, Y, and Z. Well, let's give him ABC because we just want to give it to him for the hell of it." No, it's a law. It's just like the law of gravity. Gravity, you throw something up, it's going to come down. And there's no define that. Gravity's not going to say, "Oh, it's Antonio, he's special. Let him defy the law of gravity." No, law of attraction says whatever you think about, you bring about. Like attracts like. There's no getting away from that. No matter what you do, everything's just you're an attractor. you're going to attract that experience, all based on your vibration.
It's true. And the way I discovered or found my husband was not through a dating service. He was actually hitchhiking, and I saw him on the side of the road, and I picked him up, and I knew from the moment that I met him that we were the right vibrational match. And I don't recommend that's how you find your spouse, but it worked for me. It worked really well for me. So, but it's true. You're going to get the vibration that you're putting out there. So you're going to get that in all the experiences. So where Antonio just a moment ago was talking about, he stubbed his toe, he's cursing. So let's talk about how, you stub your toe, you find yourself cursing. Things that, let's talk about processes or games that you can play to turn that energy around and, start to feel for that better feeling place. And one of the things that is really simple, it takes literally seconds, and the process is called A Lot Can Happen. And basically the idea is a lot can happen in a few seconds, a lot can happen in a few minutes, a lot can happen in an afternoon, a day. And so if you are stubbing your toe and dropping things and forgetting things back in the house and when you're already out in your car, just pause for a minute and say, a lot can happen. This day can turn around in seconds, and it can. You can hop into that car and there be no traffic, or you can get to work and the coworker or the boss that you're not particularly fond of has called out sick, and things are just getting better by the moment. And then as you are noticing those little, like, wow, there's not a lot of traffic today, you can just keep saying to yourself, the better it gets, the better it gets. And just recognize that energetically, it's all up to you to start to make those shifts, those little tiny shifts at a time, and then it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I agree. It's all directing your thought in what direction you want to go in. And like you mentioned, it's all these processes that we use. There will be tools, on your tool belt to allow you to get to where you want to get to. It's like, if you got a hammer and nail down, you're going to use a hammer. You're not going to use a screwdriver. So you have to use the right things. It's like same thing for a recipe. You're making something. You need the right ingredients and the right baking time, the right baking temperature to get your desired result for whatever it is. If not, you're not going to get that result, and you're going to fall short of what you expected to make. So it's important to be able to guide your thoughts in the right direction with the right tools, the right skill set. Very important.
It's true. And I mean, you could use a screwdriver to pound a nail into the wall. It just won't be as effective. And
it'll be there quite a while.
There might be better ways of getting that nail into the wall. But it's true. It is just like a toolbox. There's lots of things out there to help you just readjust yourself. Just readjust yourself and get to a better feeling place, because with each little incremental step that you take to get to that better feeling place, you are going to just be inviting more and more and more into your life, and it'll reside there regularly. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. If you want to go ahead and expand on that process you were talking about, and anybody that's listening, if you have any questions you'd like to join, feel free. If you have questions, we're more than willing to answer them. Don't be shy. Feel free to hop in whenever you'd like, and that's what we're here for. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and go through processes and explain more of what we're doing and how we want to get this message out there to the masses, because people have to bring awareness to what's going on in their life, knowing that they can deliberately control everything, and it's important. So that's why we're here, to bring that message out there and help others empower and uplift themselves and take themselves to another level. So, Tammy, the floor is yours.
Yeah, and I just want to second what Antonio just said, that if you have a specific situation that you're dealing with it, you are hearing us say, yeah, you can make that better. And you're thinking, you don't know my situation, that's not true for me. I really encourage you to share that with us in the chat box as best you can. And, we'll help you with that. That's what we're here for.
Definitely. You don't have to give your real name or the real people that are involved. You alter it, come up with something different, so that way, for privacy and being anonymous. And we respect that, but we just want to help you get to the next level. You came here for a reason, because you were brought here. You're searching, you're looking for something. And what you're looking for is to bring more pleasure to your life and attract the things that you want in your life. So that's what we're here for.
Right. So, another really simple, fast process or game that you can play is, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if? So you might find yourself in a depressing sort of state. So maybe you just found out you didn't get the promotion or the job that you applied for, or you're sitting in front of a pile of bills and you have no idea how you're going to pay for these bills, or whatever sort of defeating sort of situation that you might be in. And the wouldn't it be nice game. So you might, there are kind of levels of your emotional state, and it ranges from the highest just being joy and love, and the lowest to just being complete hate and anger. And none of them are necessarily good or bad, or right or wrong. That's really important, because people say, oh, I'm depressed, it's just so wrong, I shouldn't feel wrong. No, if you're depressed, you should feel depressed, because that is your body, that is your spiritual guide, your spiritual self telling you there's something not quite right here, there's something you need to look at. And it's time to be reflective and think about, how did you get to that feeling place, and what could you do to feel a little better about it? So in playing the wouldn't it be nice if game, it's a gentle way. So yes, you might be sitting in front of a pile of bills and you have no idea how you're going to pay for it. And you go, wouldn't it be nice if I won the lottery? Well, it would be nice. It sure would be nice if I won the lottery. But there's that disconnect between where you are and the real belief. Like, do you really believe you're going to win the lottery? Because that's part of it, is that real, honest to goodness belief that that's going to happen.
Correct.
Yeah. So do you have more to add to that?
Yeah, I could definitely add to that. How you said, using that process, wouldn't it be nice if, you grab your pen and your pad and you start writing down, wouldn't it be nice if, but you got to write things that are believable in the moment. Where are you? If you're very disconnected from a situation where you, like you said, using bills, you got a big bill, something came up, you don't know how to go about it. Well, you say, wouldn't it be nice if, for whatever reason, I got some extra hours of overtime, or if I got a check in the mail because the IRS owed me some money, and that, something believable, small amounts, because you got to work your way up the emotional scale. You can't long jump 100 feet. You'd have to go incrementally. You have 5 feet, 10 feet, work your way there. If not, you're gonna fall on your face, and it's a big gap. So you got to fill in the gap emotionally by bringing your vibration up. And as you do that, things will get even closer and closer. So when you have a belief, not only if you have an if you're saying something, you have to not only say it because that's your desire, but do you believe your desire? Putting those two together, you have the belief, you have the desire. That'll take you to expectation, and the expectation will bring it in. But if you have a desire and you're wishing for something, but you don't believe it whatsoever, they're very far apart. And since they're far apart, you might desire it as much as you want, but do you believe you're going to get it? Can you expect it at all whatsoever? No. So if you can't, then you got to bring that down a little bit. Now I'm not saying that, hey, forget about that desire that you have, that's no longer attainable. It is, but you got to bring yourself up to that level. It's like, take athletes, for example. So you just entered the NBA and you're playing basketball in that first year, are you going to win the most valuable player award? Chances are it's going to be very, very difficult. You know what I mean? So you got to work your way up to that level. You know what I mean? If you're just like you're, with all due respect to all the players, if you're just an average player, you got to work your way up there. Now, if you're a superstar, you have more potential to get there. But it's very rare for anyone in their first season to win the most valuable player award in the NBA. It'll take some time because there's a lot of competition there. So you got to bring your skill set even higher and higher to compete at that level. You might have been the man in college, but once you come into the NBA, you got to work your way up there. And that's the thing with the same thing, law of attraction, your thoughts and your beliefs. You got to work your way up. That the things that you say, are they believable? If they're not believable, bring them down a notch. You know, so let's say you're making, $50 grand a year. Say, man, I'd love to make 500 grand a year. Okay, well, if you can't believe 500 grand a year, say, I'd love to make 100 grand a year, because that's a little closer to where you're at. It allows you to feel a little bit better about what you're saying, a little more believable, and then you gradually work your way up. I see here that people are joining in. I'd like to welcome them, and also someone. I see a big comment here, so I'd want to go on that. I don't want to. I want to.
Sure. Let me thank you very much, I Can Do Dave, for sharing that story, your personal experience. So first of all, I would like to express my condolences on the loss of your loved one. That is a tough situation. And, you and a fellow Toastmaster. I was in Toastmasters myself. So, welcome, fellow Toastmaster. And I just want to say that anger is so correct. That anger is so right on. Why should you feel good about what just happened? It's a life-changing, very emotional, rock your world sort of experience. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with feeling that anger. And so I really want to encourage you to just kind of sit with that, because that anger is bubbling up in you for a reason. And it's not a good idea to push it down or think it's wrong or try and pretend it doesn't exist. So I want to encourage you to think about it like in terms of a beach ball. Have you ever played with a beach ball in a swimming pool and you go, for fun, I'm going to push this beach ball down underneath the surface of the water? So think about your emotions in that same sort of way. So you're pushing that emotion of anger, of sadness, of losing your spouse, of the emptiness of your home. Each of these are a separate beach ball that you're pushing down under the surface of your emotions, or the surface of the water. And after a while, it's really hard to keep all those beach balls under the water. And what's going to happen if you continue to just push them down and repress them? They're going to pop out of the water at a time that's probably really inappropriate, like some person in traffic, or some person at the office, or something at the grocery store, and you're going to just erupt, not because of what just happened really matters, but really because you're not expressing or processing the emotions that are happening. So the very first thing that I would like to recommend to you, Dave, is to really just feel okay with the anger, because for as long as you try and repress that, we're never going to be able to move to a place beyond that. And,
correct. I just want to add one quick comment.
Sure,
Whatever you resist persists. So like Tammy's telling you, don't hold back that emotion. Feel the emotion, embrace the emotion, and talk yourself through. Put it down on paper, which is a beautiful thing to do. There's a book out there by Henrietta Klauser. It says, write it down, make it happen. Wonderful book. Because when you write it down, you channel that energy that's inside you. You put it on paper, kind of like a journal. So that way later on you can go back and you see how you've gradually increased over a period of time, and what you've done that's helped you, what you've done that hasn't helped you. So that way you can, release that emotion, because remember, we're all energy, it's vibration. So whether good or bad, if you have good energy inside your body, it gives you health, well-being, attracts abundance and a lot of things, because you're attracting that. If you're in a negative state, That's why they say it's good to meditate, to exercise, to release that energy, because that energy is stuck in your body. If it's stuck in your body and you're not doing anything about it, eventually the energy is going to say, okay, you don't want to do anything about it. I'm going to do something about it. It's going to cause a rage inside you, and it could come out into a disease. If you break down the word disease, it's actually the body is at dis-ease, and then you get an illness, things of that nature. So allow yourself to feel that emotion, put it on paper. I know you might be trying different things, and I'm not saying that you're not, but embrace that emotion, like Tam said. Put it on paper, so that way you start understanding, where is this coming from, and question and say, why do I feel like this? What's causing me? Because the answers will come. When you sit still at home at night, answers will come to you. And I'm pretty sure there's people around you loving you, supporting you in the situation, but they don't fully understand you because it's happening to you. So only you're feeling that emotion. So sit still with that emotion, and the answers will come to you, because, unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that everything happens for a reason, and there's bigger purposes and causes for things. And, I want you to understand that this feeling that you're feeling now, it's a feeling, it won't last forever. It's an experience. You're going to get through it. It's going to teach you a lot of things, and then you're going to move forward. Why it's happening, I don't know. You don't know, but you will be guided into that if you allow that to come into your experience. Allow the why. Right now, you're not allowing the why to come in because you're so angry, and you're probably not allowing anything to come in. You just so hell-bent on the event that happened, the loss of your wife, and my condolences on there. And I send you love and light, because I know it's not an easy time, but I know you will get through it. You will definitely get through it. It's just got to work out that, allowing that answer to come to you.
And I'm not sure what your religious affiliations or thoughts are, Dave, but I believe that my loved ones that have crossed to the other side are still with me. And so, no, you don't have their physical embrace or their smile that lights up the room, or them to just hang out in the kitchen with and cook dinner, or, whatever the things that you used to do with your spouse. But, your beloved is still with you and sees that you're hurting and sees that you need comfort. So maybe in the quiet of the evening, when you are there and just feeling that anger, feel the anger for sure, but also just maybe try and be a little quiet within yourself, and just feel for that presence of your beloved, because I would guess that she is trying very hard to let you know she's okay, and that she still loves you very, very much.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that also too. I don't know what materials you've read or you're currently reading, or if you're even, if you'd be interested in reading the materials that we learned all our stuff from. It's by Abraham Hicks. One of the books that would help you tremendously is called The Astonishing Power of Emotions. And reading that book, it allows you to understand more of. And so Abraham Hicks is an entity. Actually, it's a group of infinite intelligence that was dubbed Abraham. They talked to Esther Hicks. It was Esther and Jerry Hicks. And through meditation over years, she was able to become a channeler. And she channeled this infinite group called Abraham, and they explain how life is, why we're here, that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, that we came forth for the challenge of experiencing life as a human in this time-space reality. And they're the fun of discovering and discovering yourself and having challenges along the way to allow you to grow and expand. Because if it was easy, you'd be bored instantaneously. But we came here for that challenge, to have the human experience. Wonderful book. I would recommend that you read that one. There's also another one that I've read. It's Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God. And most people say, well, God. And, as a Catholic, is Is it Christian, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll be surprised to read what's that book, Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh. It will allow you to open up your mind and expand into other things. And but it's a process. But just know that every day you get up, you have another day, another opportunity to guide your thoughts. And it's a big gap for you to jump right now, but don't. Just close the gap small. Take little steps every day. What can I do every day to make myself feel better? And whatever that may be, whether if it's, and with all due respect, an observation, a suggestion here, whether it's watching those videos of you and your wife or photos or anything that's going to allow you to feel better in the moment, anything that's going to allow you to feel better. If it's not allowing you to feel better, then take your attention away from it. As hard as it may be, just forget about it. If you have to take a nap, naps are good. Why? Because when you go into that slumber state, you're sleeping, you forget everything. And I can understand, I didn't lose my wife because I'm not married, but I lost my father when I was 8 years old. And through my teenage years, it was extremely rough going to school and having to do a lot of events that they had father and son events, and I didn't have my father to do it with, let alone I didn't have anyone to do it with. And so I can understand your pain to a degree. And it never resonated with me on why this happened to me and what did I do to deserve this. And through reading all the material and everything I've learned at this day, at this age, I fully understand. I'm 40, and it probably hit me about maybe like at 32 or 33 that I realized that everything happens for a reason, and we just don't see it right away. And I was in a very resistant state for a lot of years, very rebellious, rambunctious, causing trouble, because that was all negative energy and rage that I had. And it didn't, I just felt like I was not fortunate, not lucky that everybody else got good things but me. And then I came to realize that everything is done for a reason, and it guides you into a direction that it's a purpose that we don't understand now, but you'll understand in due time. And I understood why it happened to me, to allow me to be a better man, for a lot of reasons. And so therefore, I share that with you. Just it's not going to be easy. We're here. You can reach out to us. You have our emails and Twitter handles, and we're going to be here on a week-to-week basis. Whenever you want to talk in private, if you'd like, we're here to support you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Antonio, I typed into the box the title of Astonishing Power of Emotions and by Abraham Hicks, and the Neil Donald Walsh book, Conversations with God. But before that, you said the title of another book that I don't remember what that was. Hopefully you do. So
oh, yes. Write it down.
Oh, here, I'll type it in. Write it down by...
Make it happen. Write it down, make it happen.
Do you know who it's by?
Yes, Henrietta Klauser.
Oh, boy. How do you spell it?
I'll tell you her name right now. So, Henrietta, Henriette. Klauser is Klauser.
All right. I just wrote H. Klauser, but you should be able to find that.
Well, once you type it on Google or Amazon, it'll pop up. And
so, Dave, I'd really like to just say that it took great courage for you today to share that and to reach out, because lots of people don't do that. Lots of people just continue to hold everything inside of them and just feel like, somehow this is just supposed to be the way I'm supposed to feel. And it's not. Clearly, you recognize that you want to be feeling something different, and that reaching out and acknowledging that you want to feel differently really is the first step in getting to that better feeling place. So just, your thoughts, you are in my thoughts and prayers, especially tomorrow being your beloved's birthday, and I will just keep you in my prayers and in the highest light today, tomorrow, and moving forward. So all my best to you. I really.
Definitely. I'm reading your comments. You're welcome. Yeah. Enjoy the books. Also, for tomorrow, I'll definitely have you in my thoughts and prayers. And remember, tomorrow I know it's going to be difficult, and because I know she's not there. But like a child, I want you to think like a child and how a child plays with their toys, and they create this imaginary world. And we look at kids and like, what are they doing? There's nobody there, or who else is playing with them? And I want you to do the same. Just step away from the reality aspect that she's not physically here, but she's infinite. She's spiritual, just like yourself. You're infinite being, So reminisce on the good moments and just feel good on all the wonderful things you've had in your life with her that will allow you to feel that emotion of love again, of joy. When you do that, you're going to connect with her because she's in that place of that. And I'm pretty sure she's missing you also, but she can't connect with you because you're in such a distant place right now because you're feeling so much negative emotion. So just give it a try and put all your negative emotion to the side and create your story. Tomorrow, wake up, celebrate it, talk to her, talk out loud, and do that. And just give it a try because things will happen. Believe it. Trust me. Just put your foot forward to it. I mean, there's no other way to, as much as I want to express it in words right now, I'm at a loss for words because, I'm touched by your story. We're here for that, but yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as Antonio said, if you find that you need just some basic one-on-one rather than our general sort of conversations, comments to you now, that definitely reach out to us at the top of that thread, our contact information for both of us, and we'll also leave it again at the end of the show today. So
I want to add one more thing. Look for the signs. See, because since you're in a negative state because of the anger and everything that's happened, look for the signs. Start talking to her when you go out on a daily basis. Whatever nicknames you had for each other, whatever little things you did together, start doing them again. Even though she's not there in the physical, but she's there in the spiritual. She's there by your side. Do them again, and you're going to see some signs that only you would know, or the both of you would recognize with each other. Whether you go out, a specific restaurant, a specific comment, anything on TV, whatever. Look for the signs, and she will come to you and show you things. She'll might knock something over. Might cause you to turn the radio to a certain song, the TV to a certain show that she liked. Just look for those signs. Ask her, say, and again, with all due respect, this is how I'm going to say, honey, show me the evidence that you still exist, that you're here with me, and feel the love and emotion. And trust me, it's going to come to you. It's going to come to you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think this is a good place to talk about another game or process that I thought that we would share today, just called what thought feels better. So when you find yourself in that moment of just complete anger, and maybe the anger is there because you don't want to feel the sadness, on that emotional scale, sadness actually is a higher vibration than anger. So it doesn't sound logical, but being sad is actually a better feeling place than feeling anger. So when you're feeling that anger or feeling sadness and you want to feel something different, you can choose things like, yes, I miss her very much, but I have so many fabulous memories. I don't know if you have children or not. I miss her very much, but I have our children that I can reach out to, and we can continue to enjoy the memories of her. And just find that better feeling place of, just in anything. Like, I miss her so much, but I still have her sweater and it smells like her. Or here's this bottle of perfume of hers, and before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to put it on myself so that I can, be that, or, have that sensation or that experience. So, there's lots of ways, and I love what Antonio said about just simply asking for, reach out to me, please, sort of idea, and just looking, just being quiet and looking and feeling and knowing that is going to come to you. It will. Absolutely.
I feel really good. I feel really good. That this is why we're here.
That's right. Oh, I love that. You're having lunch with your son tomorrow. That's fantastic. And, if you have saved photographs over the years, by all means, tear up with your son, because it's important to show your children that it's okay to express emotion. Maybe bring some old photographs from when you first were dating, or when your son was a little kid, or, just, share and revel in those memories. And, she will be there with you. She absolutely will be there with you. And, it's lovely. It's lovely that you two will be having a birthday party. So if you're going to be in a restaurant or something, I almost want to encourage you to order dessert with candles. Just keep up the memory, because pretending it didn't happen or trying to push it away is only, like Antonio said, what you resist persists. So if you are resisting feeling the anger or the sadness, or whatever else you've got going on, then it's going to continue. It's going to continue. So I'm excited that you'll be with your son tomorrow. That's probably the absolute best place for you to be.
Yeah, and celebrate her. Celebrate the things that she does. What would she do, on a daily basis, and especially on her birthday? What would she do? What would she like to eat? Where would she like to go? Things of that nature. Just celebrate her. Do everything in appreciation of, everything in appreciation of, because appreciation is love, and there's nothing greater than that. So stay stuck in that moment of appreciating all the goodness of her, and goodness will flow into your life. I guarantee it. There's no doubt about it.
Dave, are you willing just to share her first name, just so that I can know it for when I say my prayers later today? It's not important. If you don't want to, I can just say.
Or you can email it to us if you don't want to do it on the blog. Yeah. You could email it to us.
That's true. I just would like to name her specifically, but I can certainly just simply say I can do Dave's wife. So wow. I'm glad that you found our comments helpful today, Dave. That means a lot to me, and this is like our whole purpose for being here, is because we really want to get people to a place of feeling better about every component of their life, and it, like I said before you chime in that sometimes there are things that you think, I can't feel better about this, and if that's what you think, that I can't feel better, then it's true. You can't feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you think, I think there must be something out there that can help me feel better, but I don't know what that is. That's a different vibration. That's inviting that emotion, it's inviting that action into your life. And that's, I think, what you've done today. So.
Yeah, adding to that comment, so whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. So know that you can. Everything is possible. Everything is doable. You're an infinite being. You have amazing power, more than you know. We can use 100% of our brain, not the so-called 10%. You just got to tap into that. We're all geniuses. We're all wonderful. We all have abilities. It's just tapping into that ability. If we were all the same to do the same, if we were all Tiger Woods, all Michael Jordan, if we were all Danica Patrick, we would all be bored if we go all do the same thing. But we're all different, unique in our own way, and it's for you to tap into that. And it doesn't matter when you find it, whether you're a child, a teenager, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It's finding that joy, what brings you bliss into your life, and following that, and do it incrementally. It doesn't have to be an overnight thing, because everything's a process. And as you go through the process, you enjoy the whole process, that journey and getting there. And it gives you that experience, that wisdom. So just take it one day at a time with anything you do, but be diligent, dedicate time to yourself, work. Like they say, Jim Rohn, business philosopher, he said, work harder on yourself than you do at your job, and you will have the life that you want. But if you just work hard at your job and you never work on yourself, guess what? You're not going to get much. You're going to get bitter and not better.
Right. I think Dave is on his way to that better feeling place. And thank you for Nancy. I love your description of her in the comments box. That's fun. That's really fun. So I guess there's one last process that I'd like to share, that perhaps Dave and his son can do that tomorrow. And the last process that I'd like to share today is called the Rampage of Appreciation. And generally this is done when you're already feeling in a really high vibrational state, where you're feeling in that, that good place. But it can also be done, I think, in Dave's situation that we've been talking about. But so let me give you an example of how I've done this. First let me tell you what it is. A rampage of appreciation is when you basically just stay very focused for a period of time. It can be 17 seconds, it can be 68 seconds, it can be, 10 minutes, it can be for as long as you can think of things to go. And basically the rampage is everything you appreciate about just either life in general or a specific topic or whatever. And so I also don't have any children, but I have 9 nieces and nephews who spend a lot of time at my house, and I love playing Rampage of Appreciation with them. And one of the things that's different about my house than where they reside is that I don't allow them to play their video games and stay on their phones when they're at my house. I make them participate in whatever it is that we're doing. So my favorite place to do this is when we're all cooking dinner together. So we're all standing around the kitchen island and everybody's got their job. And I say, let's do a rampage of appreciation about our day. And, the boys will say, they're like 8 and 10, and the older one is almost 13. And so they'll be like, well, nothing happened good today because I was at school. And I was like, well, then what happened good was that you got to leave school, right? You're not still there. And so it really makes them think about, well, even though, I had to go to school today, or we didn't have a snow day, or, whatever their negative thing is going on. And so it's a great deal of fun. And it always kind of breaks down into just hysterical laughing, because the longer you go, the more you have to reach for something that made you happy during the day. And the stuff that the kids come up with are just, I'm happy for you, and just oddities like that. But, Dave, maybe tomorrow you and your son could try a rampage of appreciation. It doesn't have to be, chaotic hilariousness like it is when I do it with nephews. But it could be just a back and forth. What I really loved about your mother was, whatever it is you loved about his mother. And then he could say, what I really appreciated about my mother is this. And so it'll be a softer, gentler rampage, but it's that same idea of raising that energetic vibration and just coming to this place of, Nancy really was an awesome person, and there she is in all this bubble of, terrific energy, and that will help you, that continuous little baby step shifts out of that place of anger and, and the sadness. So it's just an idea for you to try.
Yeah, I could add to that also too. you know, you don't even have to wait till tomorrow. You can start today. Pull that picture out and talk to her and say, Nancy, I appreciate you for all the wonderful things that we did together, for the man you helped me become, for the husband you helped me become, for the father you helped me become, for anything that you know that while you guys were together that she helped you and empowered you to improve for better. Appreciate that. I am who I am today because of the love she shared with me. All right, cool. Someone's looking at that picture now. Awesome. And not only with her, but throughout the day, wherever you may be, let it be your dominant intent to always feel good and feel better. And appreciation is key. It's love. So whether it's a friend, a coworker, or you go into a department store or anything, and you see someone, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Give them a smile. Someone you know at work, whatever, give them a hug. Me, at work, sometimes, you know, any of my coworkers, before we get into work, we're wearing our regular clothes. And if I saw somebody got a new jacket or a new hat or new sneakers, hey, I like those sneakers. I appreciate it. You know, it's not about, it has anything and everything to do with appreciation of how things look, and appreciate and enjoy that moment. You know, don't bring any negative, say, hey, I like that jacket, but, or I like that car, but, no buts, just appreciate. And as you do that, you're going to feel better and better. You're going to feel this wonderful emotion rise inside you, and it's going to take you to another level. So just appreciate. You call your son, tell him, hey, I appreciate you for X, Y, and Z. No matter what's happened in your life and with your family, all those negative things, leave them be. Just stay in a moment of appreciation and love, and know that it all gets better. Just always appreciate as much as you can, even before you go to bed. So, because when you go to bed happy and in appreciation, you're going to wake up the same way, and it's going to cause your day to snowball in the right direction. You're going to gain momentum, and it's always about gaining momentum into feeling better. Always about feeling better. Remember that. Let that be your dominant intent. If you're not feeling good, then say to yourself, why am I thinking, what's causing me to feel negative right now? Cast it out and replace it with a better feeling thought. Doesn't have to be a big thought, but something that's going to cause you to feel better. Always work on that.
Right. And I agree with that. And the only thing I would like to add to that is not to deny the initial whatever that lower vibrational feeling is. Like, don't try and pretend you're not sad or pretend you're not angry. You got to start where you're at. You got to acknowledge, I'm feeling sadness right now. I'd really like to feel something else. You know, this is the one step in another direction that I can feel better about this situation or this memory or whatever it takes to help you get to that better feeling.
Yeah, and it's you're gonna have moments where you want to feel better in the moment, and it might be difficult, and that's okay. Remember, it's okay. It's your emotion. You're feeling it, so don't ignore it. Don't resist it. Embrace the moment. Then take a deep breath and say, okay, I let you go. Now what do I want to focus on? Change your point of attraction, whatever it is. Put on the TV, radio, exercise, book, anything that's going to get your mind off of it, whatever it may be, as crazy as you might think it sounds. Just do it, and allow yourself to get to that next level. It's all about feeling better. I want to say also thank you to everybody that's joined. What is it? I guess I pronounce it Stara Images. She's saying thank you every Tuesday. We're on. We're on every Tuesday at 9:30.
When we're on. So basically, we're on every Tuesday morning at 9:30. With the exception of, I believe, on the 23rd of February, we're going to be on later in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. So I believe that there is some way for you to subscribe to our channel, and you'll get notifications of when we schedule things. And we are new. We've only done a couple shows so far, and we do have a website forthcoming that will tell you all of our upcoming shows as well as our upcoming topics. We do have, we're in the process of inviting some guests to join us to talk about also other law of attraction coaches, because one of the way awesome things about the law of attraction is that there's really just no such thing as competition. There's enough for all of us. The universe is an incredibly abundant place. And so we will be showcasing or highlighting, inviting in some of our other law of attraction coaches in the upcoming week so that they can share their expertise with you. A wide variety of subjects, career coaching using the law of attraction, helping your child with bullying using law of attraction. We got all kinds of stuff in the works. It's all in the big plan, so you'll have to just subscribe and watch it unfold as it happens.
We'll
make we're really excited.
Yeah, we'll make replays available whenever anybody wants to chime in. Feel free. We'll open up a window if you want to come on and talk. But we're definitely here to help people, assist people, and we're not playing games. So for the privacy of anybody that joins, we're not. We're here to empower and uplift people to a better place. I know there's other shows on Blab where people just go on and clown around and just beat off whatever topics they're talking about. That's not what we're about here. So we appreciate all of you for coming on, and it doesn't matter what your beliefs are as far as religious denomination, or if you don't believe in anything at all. At the end of the day, it's about using these tools and these laws to get you to the next level, and to increase your awareness of who you are and how you can create your life, to deliberately attract the things that you're deliberately attract the things that you want in your life, and also bring you a lot of joy and pleasure. So I'm excited. It was a wonderful show. I'm glad that we were able to help Dave and his family. I'm just so blessed to be able to have done this today. I'm like, this is, you made my day. Thanks so much.
Yeah, this is why we're here. And it's given me a whole lot of joy right at the moment. The little map in the upper right corner, just how many places in the world that we're connecting in this moment. And I love that. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, we're about at the end of this edition of Rendezvous with Tam and Antonio. And once again, we're going to type in our contact information for you to find us. Spelling counts, so I should really know what I'm doing here. There we go. Let's try that. So that's where you can find me. That's where you can find Antonio. Definitely reach out if you have an idea, a topic for an upcoming show. Like, I'd really like to hear material on, whatever it is that you have a big question about. Let us know, because we would love to have this be interactive and do what you're interested in.
Doesn't matter what topic it is. All these laws apply, whether you want to believe them or not. Just like the law of gravity. Whether you believe it or not, it exists. You throw something up, it's going to come back down. So and then what defies the law of gravity is the law of lift. That's why planes can fly, birds can fly. So what defies the law of attraction is your thought and what direction you're going to guide that in. Because if you don't deliberately guide your thought, you're going to go into default, and that default is not going to be a good place. And then you're going to be damning everything. That's not a good experience in your life. So create deliberately, always walk out there and what do I want today? What do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? Guide yourself. It's like going to a buffet. That's a perfect example. You go to a buffet, you're only going to eat what you like and what you want. You're not going to go eat what you don't like at a buffet. So why would you allow yourself to experience the things in life and with your thoughts, So only have thoughts that you want to ingest, for lack of a better word.
Right. All right, so we've reached the end of the second edition of Rendezvous with Tam and Antonio, and we invite you to join us next week. Please do subscribe, and you'll get a notification of when we are up next. Until then, be well, go forth, and be radiant.
Awesome. You're welcome. I'll also mention the books you reference on Blab. Oh, thank you so much. On the book Blab on Friday night. You've lifted me higher. I will encourage. Oh, definitely. Hey, I appreciate it. Anything we can do, that's what we're here for. We're all in it together to help each other, encourage and empower each other. So we're here. If you need anything from us, anything if you're doing a blab, let us know. We'll come and join and help each other get to the next level. So be blessed all.
Yes, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care.